Robinson, County
Bill
Councilman,
Robinson.
District 10. Thank you. Some constituents out there. All right. I served in the state legislature for 14 years. Been on county council since 2004. Served on Pittsburgh City Council for 8 years. I've seen a lot of politicians come and go. And I know Joe. I had a chance to meet Joe down the street at his campaign office on a Saturday. Just me and Joe. And I was impressed that he thought I was that important that he'd take time out of his schedule to sit with me without staff around, without a prepared speech, and just share with me some things about him. And to ask me, would I support him? And I was able to discern from that meeting that that's my guy, Joe Sestak, right there.
Where is he? Where is he? There he is.
I have about 10 blue shirts. My mother asked me once, why do you have so many blue shirts? Had I been perceptive enough, I would have said, I'm waiting for Joe Sestak to run for the Senate because his colors are going to be blue and white. But I wasn't that perceptive. The Admiral has showed us what discipline and commitment can produce. And he's a man of integrity. Joe's told this story in various versions, and I'm going to tell in private and in public. Joe Sestak was the first choice of the White House to run for Senate. He was the first choice. And then Joe gets the call that he's not the choice. And Joe had a chance to have a golden opportunity presented to him that many of us would have coveted. And Joe doesn't go into details about that, neither am I. Except to say, Joe Sestak said, while that opportunity would be good for me, I don't think it'd be good for Pennsylvania. I'm running. That's my kind of guy. I've seen the politicians come and go, and a lesser man would have taken the deal. My good friend and colleague, Doug Shields, has spoken eloquently about the other guy. I'm going to talk about Joe Sestak just a little bit more. Joe is literally running all around Pennsylvania trying to convince people that in spite of the obstacles, he's going to work with our president. That he's going to work with the Obama administration. And I heard Joe Sestak say at a press conference about a month ago down his campaign headquarters that he would work with the president when he becomes senator, but he had to be honest, he felt the White House made a mistake. That mistake was they should have stuck with Joe. That was a mistake. Let's call it an honest mistake. On Wednesday, they'll know it was a mistake. Unfortunately, some of the stress and strain in Washington caused Joe to get that call for someone to ask him to step aside. Joe Sestak would never have been put in that kind of position to make a deal. That's my guy, Joe Sestak. Joe would have already been there. They would have been able to count on Joe. That's why Joe was the first choice. Oh, he definitely was the right choice. Now, as Mike Tyson used to say, before a big fight and all that hype and conversation, he'd say, okay, day or so before the fight, say, okay, the talking is over. Let's get in the ring. And getting in the ring for us and for Joe is going to come Tuesday. Turnout. We turn out more votes, we win. We're not going to talk Joe into this. We're not going to scare him into it, and he can't run into it. We've got to get people to vote Joe into this. We've got to convince people that what Doug is saying about Joe and what I'm saying about Joe resonates. This is the guy that's committed to Pennsylvania. Joe doesn't have to run. I suspect that an admiral with all those stars on his collar gets a good pension. Joe's not doing it for the money. Couldn't be doing it for the money. Joe has family obligations. He talks about that. This is not about Joe. It's about Pennsylvania. And we have to tell people between now and Tuesday at 8 p.m. that Joe Sestak's the guy. Not only a man of integrity, a man that works hard, that talks straight, that doesn't make deals that cause us to wonder where he's going to be after he wins the election. One of the commercials that I saw convinced me even more that Joe was the guy. I saw two presidents of the United States saying they support the other guy, that he was loyal to them, that they could count on him. Hell, I'm confused. I'm confused. And then the candidate says, I'm doing all this so I can get reelected. I know the pressures of trying to get reelected. Trust me. I know all the things that can happen to you. The thoughts that go through your head, and people making offers. Some were very good offers. Some maybe you should have taken them. Joe didn't take a deal. Joe's here running. That commercial convinced me Sestak's the guy. There wasn't Sestak up there grinning, taking accolades from both sides. Joe Sestak is right here with us. Joe Sestak is running to be the Democratic candidate. He's been a Democrat. He's going to stay a Democrat. Run, Joe, run!
That was Bill Robinson, County Councilman, Allegheny County, Pittsburgh region.